Y'all, as we go live here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman, hackerhamin.podbean.com, Ben Hamin YouTube channel, infidels, the mega powers reunite as I combine all the juice from the mind. Heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind, powerful impact, boom from the cannon. That's right, infidels, it's my man Big Ray back in action on the impact attack with my man MSG, and we're about to do it real big at Hacker Hamin on your impact attack, infidels. YOLO! Yeah, that felt good, man. Feeling real good today. Had a great Monday to kick the week off. The whole team came through, represented, great meetings, new business, great shows. Tuesday was another great day at Russo's brand, so everything dropping today for you guys, from Master Shoot Theater to the Raw and SmackDown review. Lots of laughs. So there's no place to go except here and Russo, bro, because it's a free month at russosbrand.com. So we need everybody out there to spread the word, share the link. Let's increase the subscriptions, the followers, and let everybody know. Let's let them in on the secret. Let's let them know what's going on, where to get the real shoot on Russo's brand this month. And Hacker Hamin, as always, free media, independent media, great thinkers, and the best pundits in the game. And I got two of them with me right now, two of my executive producers and the best co-hosts in the biz. MSG, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're hosting the scene where the air is clean and I'm lighting up green. Ya boy, MSG. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew_Shaver. Just putting in that work, man. Late nights last night. We got Suck My Balls drop today at Hamin Media Group and on my YouTube. Rat Salad review drops probably within the next 60 minutes here. So when you're done listening to this live, go check out our YouTube. New episode of Rat Salad review, and War on Morons will be out tomorrow. So we're just firing on all cylinders. And then, of course, you gave the stooge last Friday. But, yeah, we're doing a little bit of extra work here, developing some new brands. So it's exciting times here at Hamin Media Group. But, ladies and gentlemen, making his way back to his battleground, his proving ground, where it all started. The foundation was built and set forth upon you listeners here by this individual man. I have referred to him as the Puerto Rican sexy Mr. Clean, but he is your Puerto Rican golden voice. Ladies and gentlemen, big Ray Hernandez.
Oh man, Matt, I mean, my ears are blowing out. All that reverb and echo, man. That was awesome. It's like you're giving me the announcement gimmick in the Grand Canyon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the reporter, the people, the man with the plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some lucha libre, which is your Spanish lesson for wrestling today. It is freaking amazing to be back with actually the two original hosts of the Impact Attack. So I am ecstatic.
Somebody even called it the Impact Rebellion.
Oof. You got oof. Yeah, I got the stooge. I got the stooge on that. We had the Facebook gimmick. It gives you old school. What do you call that?
Memories.
Yeah, the memories. And do you remember, Ben, the first little gimmick that I put up with the A-Team music in the background? How we escaped? Oh, dude, that came up the other day, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, man. It's been such a long time.
I like it again. And what an incredible journey to look back from now and then. It's almost hard to chart it because it's been such a daily, uphill climb, man, with everybody.
I was going to say it's light years, man. Like if you go back into the library from when I think one of the first shows we had beside our own was the Right Opinion Pod. I think that was, and then Conspiracy Horseman, or was Conspiracy Horseman then Right Opinion?
I think it was Conspiracy Horseman then Right Opinion, but they were right in line together. And obviously everything that the PW Hustle was doing as well. And before we even kick it off, and I feel bad because I'm having a tough time pulling his last name, but our boy Wild Bill, when we first started, who's no longer with us anymore.
Bill Schuyler, yeah, man.
Schuyler. So I wanted to pay respect to Bill Schuyler right out of the gate because I know we got some older generation losses to talk about in the news as well that are coming through. We'll talk about today, but you don't forget who helped you when you came out, and OK Fabe too. huge part of the show in the early days as well, and spun off to have real success in his own way. And he was, that's the thing with Hamin. That's the thing with running any locker room. Guys are going to come and guys are going to go. It's going to sting, but hopefully you got guys prepped to jump in that spot and shine, so everybody gets an up. And that's just how we do it together. There's never any heat along those lines. So I'm happy to see those guys spin out and do their own brands. Gorilla Position. Ryan K. Bowman had a fair amount of hand in the first early chapters as well. So shout out to all those guys doing their thing, man. And definitely respect to Bill Schuyler, who is no longer with us. Always enjoyed his reports, man.
What does Go Banana mean?
Go Banana? Matt, do you want to enlighten them into your newfound knowledge? Do you remember or no?
No.
All right. So we were on the AEW. No, this is good. I mean, and Ray, you deserve this knowledge too. This is the small things.
Last week? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, this is the small things.
Well, we didn't do LTF last week. That's why. Okay,
right, 2 weeks ago. But it's all right. That people don't know about who aren't in the biz. Okay, so Go Banana is Pat Patterson.
Yeah, I was good. Yeah, okay.
Because of his heavy Polish accent and all that, and be like, and then you pin, and he goes up, big slam, come off the top rope, and then 1, 2, 3, and crowd go banana. And so Go Banana is just like Sylvia was saying it. So they do this whoop wop open and then Go Banana, and then, but in wrestler in the back, for people who know that's how Pat Patterson he didn't put S on things. So Go Banana when the crowd would pop. It just became a vernacular throughout the deep locker rooms of wrestling. That's something fans don't say or really know because it's not like a catchphrase or anything. But when we're putting shit together and then you pin them 1, 2, 3, Go Banana.
So, you're talking about Pat Patterson and
I was going to say that's a great segue.
Bananas. I don't know. I thought something.
Yeah, no. That's
that segue.
Well, yeah, I don't want to speak ill of the guy just in passing and what he's contributed to the business. I have my own kind of feelings about it. Because I could say one thing.
Patterson, for those who haven't heard, Pat.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Pat Patterson's just passed away. Go ahead, man.
Whoa! Are you serious?
Oh, I thought you said, dude, it's been all in the chats. Yeah,
it just broke about an hour ago.
I literally just woke up. I know I wake up looking this good.
1 hour ago.
Dude, I thought you knew. That's why I was kind of segueing.
Yeah, I thought we were like, a good segue, Big Ray. I was like, great segue.
What a fucking heel! What a fucking heel!
Yeah, I thought you were just healing on him for Dave Banana jokes. I thought you knew. Sorry, I didn't mean to say but I do feel I do have a strong opinion on this, but I'm not. Now is not the time to voice it, and I know there's people who did care about him and they're hurting, and I could say some things right now that be very true, but they could also make me very hypocritical because I've said things about this before, and I'll say it after, in weeks to come. I'll talk about it. It's nothing that's crazy or any story that's going to blow things up, but it's not cool to talk ill of people in their moment of passing. You know what I mean? Like, give the guy his respect for what he is and what he accomplished and what he gave to a business that I loved growing up. That he was one of the, behind the scenes guys making those magic moments happen. So for that, I show my respect in the locker room, definitely, to his legacy and what he accomplished. Like I say, in weeks to come, I might speak different, more in depth about it. But Pat Patterson gone this morning, as well as Bob Ryder, who you saw a lot of. What we saw last night as the show opened, a graphic of him. Another guy who the fans wouldn't even know his face. They saw him in the carrying around a clipboard at a show. They'd be like, "Who's that guy?" Oh, he's a production. Like, no, this guy has been with Impact through almost every iteration and every, buyout and resell. And he's the guy who books the travel. He's the guy who makes sure things are set to go, that the vendors are taken care of, that the dirt sheets get the right information, that the promos go out to the right people, that the press releases are done, like all the shit that it really takes to run a company, and then some, and dealing with talent, and always being on the side of the boys as an intermediary between the creative and the office. Not an easy place to be. You're either going to get looked at as a stooge, but most people, if you do it with respect for the boys, they're with you. But the guy who's never in the ring is like a personality. Plus, when it comes to the internet of reporting news, decades of news as faceless. Ray, I'll let you take it there, man.
All right, so first I have to stooge off that myself and again I have to apologize about the Pat Patterson thing. I literally
don't even let don't sweat it, man.
All right, so I'm just gonna put that out there, guys. I never, I joke around a lot, but I don't, I never make fun of the.
He would have laughed at a funny gay joke right then as well. So fuck that. Right. That's fucking hilarious. That's what we do as wrestlers. That's the locker room.
But the banana joke was pretty funny. But neither here nor there. All right, so basically, what's that?
Go banana.
Oh, I'm about to, baby. No, but okay, so for people that don't know, the owner of OneWrestling.com is not in fact Bill Apter. The owner of OneWrestling.com was originally Joey Styles and one Bob Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually became common knowledge, I would say, only a few years ago, because for quite some time, everybody thought Bill Apter owned the website, and myself and Matt actually have a connection. Matt did some stuff at OneWrestling.com. That the guys, the PW Hustle guys, were guys that I bought in for what was called the Big Slam Nation, where we were putting up some huge numbers along with Andre Corbeil and Billy Ray Valentine and Track and Professor. And the person that I ran everything through, kayfabe, for about 10 years was not only Bill Apter, but the person that I communicated with almost on a weekly basis, especially when putting up big numbers, and he would always hit. It's Bob Ryder. I had the pleasure of interacting with the gentleman on, maybe well over 1,000 times, maybe even more than that over the last 10 years. I gotta say, man, Bob. This is my personal take on Bob. Everybody has their own individual feelings, but I don't know of anybody that really doesn't like Bob or didn't like Bob.
No.
Bob was so cool to me on a personal level. Bob hooked me up. And, I remember Bill Apter used to tell me, keep it kayfabe, don't let anybody know that Bob is the owner. We used to call him, I forgot the name we used to call him, but it was like the mysterious, owner of OneWrestling.com. And we kept that kayfabe for almost 10 years and Bill longer. Bob took care of me. I saw a lot of cool events, if you know what I mean, guys. And Bob took care of me. He brought me in. Bob gave me the opportunity. So yes, it was Bill Apter that I interacted with. It was Bill Apter that technically, allowed me. But guess who he ran it by first? He ran it by Bob, and Bob had to review the video, and Bob had to say, okay, this guy's good enough to be on the platform. And Bob gave me a lot of great opportunities, man. I have tons of emails between myself and Bob Ryder, and all I can say is that I don't know what direction OneWrestling.com is going right now. I did have a very private conversation. Bill Apter is absolutely torn up about this.
Well, I imagine, man. Sure.
Torn up. I don't even know if I know Bill put up a 1-minute-and-20-second quick little, gimmick on OneWrestling.com on YouTube. He hasn't done his whole, thing where he really talks stories and stuff. So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet and just say that rest in peace to a really, really good guy. Again, a face that, like you said, Ben, nobody would know how important he is.
Oh.
And that's why, a lot of the we have to appreciate. Now I'm gonna pass the mic on to Matt. You got to appreciate all the guys from Hamin Media, all the girls from Hamin Media, the people that are actually putting in the work behind the scenes.
Mhm.
You know, the soldiers. Like you guys have to understand how much we genuinely appreciate you. The producers that don't necessarily they're not on air. You
Mhm.
know, people that are plugging the social media, people that have
There's
Instagram pages.
there's a lot of value in people who aren't on air as well.
We have
To be able to not use them, but their purpose can be even greater than being an on-air personality in value of to the brand. You know what I mean? And Bob Ryder's exactly one of those guys.
Ben, we have people that have Instagram pages, and all they're doing is their personal, and they're just posting stuff. Hamin Media. So thank you. This is something that Bob did for many, many years. And again, I'm not going to get into specific. Like I have a lot of cool stories, and I could tell you guys off air between myself, Bob, Bill, Big Slam Nation track, Andre Corbeil. But just, you know, thank you, Bob Ryder. And we lost a good dude.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about the trickle down effect, right? I mean, you talk about a guy, the Big Ray, that you had an opportunity to work with, which ultimately helped set forth upon this podcasting adventure that you've been on, right? Which eventually led to your connection with Ben and WrestleZone, which eventually led to my connection with you and a lot of the producers that we have here on Hamin Media Group. So just by having those degrees of separation, he's going to continue not only to maybe create a long-lasting legacy, or the current crop that's in the WWE. He could have helped cultivate the next crop just by cultivating, you know, people under his tutelage and passing on that work ethic and knowledge, if you will. So definitely. And also, you know, to talk about, you were talking about, you know, you don't want to shit on people while they're, you know, they're passing. My great grandfather once said to me, you got to let the grass grow before you let the dog take a shit. So I just wanted
That's a great one. That's a great one right there, man. Absolutely. So, you know, definitely two big names in the biz this week, and both guys, you know, obviously Patterson a little more in front of the camera as the Stooge is, and his whole run, you know, in the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s and 80s, really. But also another behind the scene guy for many years that helped make the magic happen, that doesn't get the pat on the back, but knows how to read the crowd, knows what's going on, can make the adjustments and like these and raise the next crop of office stooges. That's what he had to be. But that sounds like a shitty thing, but it's an essential job. It's an essential job to go between the fans, the talent, and the office to get the fucking biz done and deal with everybody's ego and still maintain your respect. There's some guys in WWE who get no respect because of the way they handle their shit and they're little cockroaches. Ryder's doing the same position, but is respected amongst all of his peers. There's ways to do business. The term office stooge might have a negative connotation, but really that's the title is I'm an associate producer or I'm an administrator. You know what I mean? Like if it was anything else, but we work in a carny biz, man. But I hope, you know, the office stooges he raised, I'm definitely.
Can't wait to be the six-figure office stooge.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Oh, call me whatever you want, bro. You know, but yeah.
But what were you about? You about to throw me under the bus or something? Telling me that I was a stooge?
Yeah, of course you are.
Oh,
stooge.
You want me to
right.
your text messages and shit?
Hey, Fabe. Hey, Fabe.
But both of those guys enjoy a fucking good rib. They go banana for it. And man, there's no sad days. Those guys got to live a dream, be producing wrestling shows, be on the road with the boys, hang and bang and clang, have all the laughs and live a carny lifestyle, doing some shit that you loved when you were 8 years old. Both of them.
I'm
And
wondering,
that's the way you got to go out. Bang, bang to both of you boys.
I'm just wondering right now, and you know, people think that Vince McMahon, they look at him as just a figure, you know, like a mythical figure, like he's not a human being. Those guys were like super ridiculously, unbelievably close. That being Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson. I'm just wondering, you know, how that's affecting him right now.
Oh, to everybody in the family. That's what I'm saying. I could cut a bunch of promos, but everybody's got the gay uncle in their family or gay best friend that You know, I guess maybe especially during Pat's time, whatever was taboo, and they can make the jokes in WWE. But I think about my buddy Big T, and like that's like my brother, dude. And we make ribs and gay jokes and all that shit too, and he ribs right back the posse shit, man. But if he was gone tomorrow, my heart would be destroyed. And to Stephanie and Shane and their kids, that's just their uncle, man, who they've known since they were babies. You know what I mean? He held them and was there for every Christmas. So, like I said, we can talk salacious, carny shit some other time, but when people are hurting, it don't matter, like the celebrity and that shit out the window. We can make Vince McMahon as big of a character as we want to be, but at the end of the day, he's just a fucking scared kid from a trailer park, man. And he's dealing with some shit the same way anybody else would if your best homie died. And I've had that happen twice. So I know what human emotion is. So they're definitely hurting, man. It's got to be a hard day for them. I don't know if Pat was on a down. I mean, he's an old man now, you know, like, so he lived an incredible full life. I'm sure they're playing Sinatra My Way and all that shit that he loved, bro, you know. So maybe Big Ray will do an Instagram karaoke later today, something live. Yeah, he did some really great ones, and why not do a Pat Patterson one later, Ray? You got a beautiful voice, share it with the world.
I can probably do it in his gimmick voice. Well,
I think you just do it as best you can, man. Whatever you want to do. You don't got to do a gimmick. You be you. You're a star too. And with Bob Ryder there too. I've said this off air plenty of times in meetings. Big Ray Hernandez should be the new voice of Impact openings for pay-per-views and all that shit. So I want you guys, the Hamin Media Group, just fucking hammer on Ray every day. Every day on Twitter. Just get at him and say, you lazy fucker. Why aren't you putting your reel in, and why aren't you using all your connections to get a shot at taking off? Because right now, you want to talk about Ray, you might be that guy, and you could walk into Bob Ryder's fucking position. So shine your fucking pretty little head up and start doing some reps. Get the gig.
The only thing, and you said the only thing I heard from that was hammer. I mean, listening to Rip Rogers.
Look at the hammer on him. Yeah.
My God. I mean, for people that haven't subscribed to the Patreon, I'm not going to stooge anything off, but
Patreon.com/Hamin Media Group.
Yeah.
Good Lord on high. I mean, hammers and dick pills and just fuckers and fuck this and everybody should die. It was the shit I heard going home last night. Changed my life.
I say you guys get a watered down version of it through me, and it's even shock value through me, right? And that's what people pay $6-8 for, to fucking, when you can really lay yourself at the mercy of a master of Pai Mei training fucking Beatrice and Kill Bill. Rip's one of the last trainers like that. He ain't gonna fucking baby you. He loves you. But everything he does is to fucking break you and rebuild you to make you a better you. And once you do that, it's crazy. But now people are getting that on the Rip Rogers podcast for only $5 a week. You know,
insane.
They don't know the value of what they're getting. And there's more to come with his true biography that we're writing. We're launching his own brand, more t-shirts, and then eventually a whole online digital wrestling Rip Rogers College. So there's a lot to come, man. But right now you're getting the core life of Rip and how he made stars, from John Cena to Brock to Orton to Shelton Benjamin to Serena to Beth Phoenix to everybody, dude. Like that's what you're getting there at Patreon Hamin Media Group right now. So I'm glad you liked it. It's a shocker, man. It's like nothing you ever fucking heard of, like how to get your fucking life in order.
You know what it's like? It's like having a grandfather that you love, a grandfather that you know, and then all of a sudden your grandfather goes off the deep end and just starts fucking this and fucking that and talking about dick pills and talking about, like, literally sitting in somebody's house talking about their kid's hammer. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough for you to go to Patreon right now and just. Man,
well, I mean, this week he talks, Terry Funk. He talks about 3 generations of Ortons because he was in business with Cowboy Bob. He was there when Randy was born in Lexington. wrestled the grandfather, like when he first started out on the road, and like all around one conversation about how punches should be used in fucking wrestling. And Rip knows, he does all that shit. Rip does all that dick pills and the big hammer and the big worm snabbits to shock people, to draw them in, and then he'll tell you the real deal of what it is. But you got to wait for that knowledge to come around, and then we'll give you a little bit of it, and then he'll kick your legs out from underneath you with some other shit.
Matt, you're not a millennial, right? Because I don't want you to die.
No, I'm technically, I guess I'm on the precipice of that, but
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not
I'm born late
generation
80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s.
Okay, because
my knees spray painted outside, my friend.
Because Rip Rogers clearly doesn't like millennials.
Fucking die.
Oh, just die. fuck you, beast.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. So I appreciate Dr. Ted. He's going back out there tomorrow to tape even more. So we're getting more in the can. A very a special video clip coming. If you thought we keep it raw already, wait till you see what's coming, you guys. It's going to be some good shit. Best ever.
Well, speaking of Patreons as well, just to put over patreon.com/RussoTWC, I expect to get an episode next week of a pantsless Patterson party. So I'm just throwing that out.
Okay. You like that? Well, Deuce is a ghost, and even though he's real, but now we'll have the ghost of Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ghost of Pat would be fucking phenomenal. Why not try and keep him alive? I know I'll listen to some of it, but my Buffalo Pollock is pretty good because some of my best friends from Buffalo, their parents are first generation, and they talk like this all the time. The motherfucker, the cockasucker, the language in the movie, I couldn't understand it. So I can do a little Pollock, so maybe be switching in and out.
It's been nice. It's good. It's good. All right. Well,
Buffalo's got the third biggest Polish population outside of Warsaw, Poland. Chicago's second, Buffalo's third, and then Warsaw, Poland's first. There's a lot of Polish people in Buffalo, man, no doubt.
So, quite a question. Strangler Steve, he's not Polish, right?
No, he's I think what is Strangler? I think he's Elven. Is what he is.
Well, there's a reason I'm asking, because that son of a bitch is strong as fuck.
Dude, he's part of Grimly from Lord of the Rings. That's where his bloodline comes from. He's stocky and he can lift about 700-800 pounds at any time he needs to.
No, I have to apologize to Strangler Steve. Last week, on the last week on the NXT review, basically I called him the Ram Man of Hamin Media. It was more because of your arms, Steve. Those things are they're like trees.
They're insane, bro. His arms are insane. And like, he's just got, that's what it is. I know he's Italian. I'm not, because we talked about it. He goes, do you think my arms are jacked? You should have seen my grandmother. They were even shorter and she had bigger biceps than I got right now. I go, God damn. So that's where he gets his grandma's arms. But dude, Strangler's biceps they're Hogan level.
You got to see his gimmick too. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's got a huge hammer on him.
Oof. Anyway, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, of course, guys. Don't forget, this is the month of December.
They used to call him the Dangler Steve King, but he had actually straight.
Well, every year in December, RussoBrand.com, you get 1 free month. So right now is your opportunity to sign up. Go to RussoBrand.com, get your first month for free. And I'd say sign up now because that way you get the full 30 days. So don't delay and just sign up at the end of the month and be like, I got charged. I really didn't get a free month. Get your free month now.
Yeah, or and spend an extra $3 and spend an extra $3 and join his Patreon too if you're not going to join ours, because then you're getting Master Shoot Theater, which is the creme de la creme of wrestling shows right now. This week it was awesome. Vince did more cameos, so there's a lot of good stuff.
Of course, check out thebrosters.com. Pick up your cup of Russo Bro coffee, bro. And ZordosOliveOil.com. Get the finest artisan olive oil. StevieRichardsFitness.com. Join the resistance band sensation that's sweeping the nation. StevieRichardsFitness.com. I got a couple impact stories here for you, or just a couple of stories before we get in. James Storm revealed how much money he drew from merchandise while working in Impact Wrestling, the TNA. He said, and this was in reference to if he'd be confident or if he felt good if they were to do a reuniting of Beer Money in WWE. He said, I don't know if we'd be a top team. We'd be one of the top merchandise sellers. I can tell you that, because when we were in TNA, we made like $1 million in 1 year just off Beer Money merchandise. So I can only imagine with the WWE machine behind it or whatever.
Wow.
But that's hearsay. So we never know until maybe it happens. $1 million, Big Ray.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
TNA
money.
money.
Especially like for a company like TNA. I don't know anyone that's pulling in that type of merchandise. Well, again, remember that
right now, but that's about it. I would say that's not independent wise.
We have to also think about who was on the roster. When Beer Money was making their run, you had guys like Kurt Angle, Christian Cage, Sting, AJ Styles. You have people that people knew of. I'm not too sure, and I hope nobody gets offended by this, but I would say 50% of the roster, maybe even 60% of the roster, no, 80% of the roster for non-wrestling fans, or people that are 90% of the roster for non-wrestling fans, the people that don't watch it on a regular basis won't know who they are. But Beer Money, I could see them making a lot of money in the WWE. They should have done this shit as soon as James Storm walked out on that NXT roster, but they didn't do it. Ben has said multiple times, WWE can fuck up a wet dream. That's what they do. And they wouldn't be called Beer Money. That people know them as Beer Money.
It should though. Why wouldn't you? It's two things. I'm gonna Houseman you just a little bit. Your voice is so deep. You can back off you can go right to there. You'll be about perfect.
That's what she said.
Yeah. then he leans in to do it again. you don't have to. That mic is nice, and right where you are is perfect.
Right here.
Have you seen his NXT reviews with his splotchy green screen? This is what a beautiful green screen looks like. Right?
Oh, this isn't a green screen. This is legit. Let me throw a pair of underwear at the. That's legit.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No, Ray, you're spot on, and I do believe they made $1 million with that, because the merch for Impact has always been pretty high quality and look good, and that's something. If you're a country boy and you got some shit, and then you don't worry about wearing a stupid fucking WWE shirt, Happy Lana Day or some shit. That's something you could actually wear to a country bar and it would look halfway like normal, you know what I mean, or NASCAR or some shit like that. And
back then, real quick, they styled their show. Am I too loud still, or am I good?
Yeah, you're a little bit hot, man. Like you're
unbelievable. What the fuck? All right, so how's this? Is this better?
No.
Really?
You can move back to about here, dude. Yeah.
Really?
That's good.
Or move the mic down and angle it up, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. How's this?
Like how I have it.
Same.
Wow.
Like maybe further and
down. Anyway, so back then.
That's good right there.
Okay, fine. All right. I'm literally standing 6 feet away from this.
Oh, that's a great mic, and your voice travels perfectly to it.
Anyways, do I have to wear my mask or anyway? So back then, whoever was designing the Impact Wrestling shirts, I had bought a couple of them. I think they had a guy, if I'm correct, that used to work with Affliction. Remember that show, that Affliction, and they had people. I think they had that guy heading a couple of people who were designing the shirts. So that's why you're right, dude. Back then, Beer Money, their shirts look dope. Like the Impact, I have this dope Impact Wrestling shirt. I still have it. That looks like an Affliction shirt. Now, moving into the WWE. Now, let me ask you a question, Matt. Do you think, have you heard of anything that maybe perhaps this is something legit, that Cowboy James Storm will in fact be joining the company? I mean, have you heard anything from William Alessia?
I have not heard anything from Hot Sauce Willie. That's apparently his
new gimmick, Hot Sauce Willie.
Last word on Pro Wrestling. It said it. So Hot Sauce Willie.
He's earned it.
Serving up fire. I have not heard that. But to your point about the Impact quality of the fabric and whatnot, I mean, I have maybe 2 or 3 Impact Wrestling shirts. I mean, probably 5 years old. One's a Magnus shirt, and then I've got 2 Jeff Hardys. The one Jeff Hardy I've got is like the one where you pull it over your face. It's got a picture of his face. Like, ask me about my creature. It says,
Yes.
it's a good one to wear before bed with the chick. But you know, the high quality shirts. They last really long. Images are great. So yeah, Impact Wrestling's always made some good shirts.
Yeah, well, I mean, those guys get over in their entrance with the Boozer Cruiser and all that shit, and that means interactivity with the fans, babyface, and all that shit. And at the end of the day, I don't care how big of a name you are, baby faces sell merch. Like that interactivity, you know, so they know it. So those guys, yeah, put the belts on them too. Do all the meet and greets you want, and there's people who are going to buy everything, the whole package. So I know at the Bucks during their height when we were in 2CW 2014, when they were selling those fucking Bullet Club shirts and the Bucks shirts at the same time. This is before they were even in Hot Topic. Just from Pro Wrestling Tees, bro, I know those guys were making pretty close to that on the fucking indies. And that's no overhead, no nothing. That, like, they're just getting email upon email. I saw Matt's phone. It said, what, like, dude, you could have gone zip and scrolled for fucking a minute. New Pro Wrestling Tee sale, new Pro Wrestling Tee sale, no pro one after the other email, bro. Because it generates an auto email. And how many of those people bought
my emails?
how many of those people bought multiple shirts? You know what I mean? So I think that $1 million number may even be light, and he's spot on. I mean, Bobby Roode, phenomenal. Dolph Ziggler, phenomenal. Now they're putting them together as the Dirty Dogs. How about yeah, they're going to be together as a tag team called the Dirty Dogs.
Who?
Ziggler and Roode.
Oh.
So yeah, that bad. Instead of bringing him in, I mean, now's not the time because there's no crowd for them to interact with and do the beer drinking shit. You know what I mean? But you could have it like they come out with their own beer and everybody at home has one, and it's time to do that. Just raise one up, and everybody in Thunderdome has a drink together. But it's not until the crowds come back that it would be the best time to put them together again. But they missed the boat on that. That would have been huge money at WrestleMania, those guys.
Let's connect the dots here for a second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker was paid $1,000 to talk to All Elite Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
A week later, now I'm hearing that we've got a brand new tag team called the Dirty Dogs. Was Vince like, God damn it, that's great, man.
Fucking
Get
Scooby.
the dogs.
I think they came up with it themselves, unfortunately. I saw it on Ziggler's real Facebook.
Speaking of Ziggler, and I want to shout out to others who tweeted this out. Mad Kurt, I guess, is a comedy or satire wrestler over there in the UK, and he likes to rile up people. Well, Zig Ziglar had put a nice little tweet out. Hey, supporting some small business, independent contractors, brands. If you guys need help today, let me know. I'd be happy to check out some of your merch or make a donation. So Mad Kurt posted a parody one, and Ziggler ended up sending him $1,000. He posted the PayPal and everything, put it up on his Twitter. It was
Who did it?
Mad
Kurt, but he got Ziggler to pay $1,000.
Who's Mad Kurt?
So again, Mad Kurt is a UK wrestler, but he is, like, if you listen to Smack Attack every single week, they talk about him a lot. He is a big, huge, ridiculously huge troll, and it gets to a point that wrestlers get pissed off at him, other wrestlers, other workers, because he's a troll, but they're falling into his trap.
Let me help Ben out. Remember a couple weeks ago when Jordan Grace was complaining online and she was like, why do you have to be so mean or whatever? That's the guy who trolled her. It's the same fucking guy who's trolling people.
That's interesting. But
your video is really choppy. Like, you're
heat on both of you guys and others for not letting me know that Ziggler's giving away $1,000. Not like I can't use $1,000 right now. So good job, guys.
Well, all right. I got to be honest with you.
You're frozen.
Who?
You've been.
I'm not frozen. You're fucking frozen.
No, nobody here's frozen. I see everybody. I'm looking at the Twitch gimmick. Everything is fine. Listen.
I'm jacked directly in.
Ben?
Yeah.
Matt, I have to tell you guys something.
We could have got $1,000 from Ziggler, you fuckers.
I knew about the money. It is what it is. By the way, I gave 80% to Colin because
I saw it afterwards. Athers is the one
He
who posted it.
spent it
So
all
heat
on
on Athers, and it's also in UK
heat on
time.
others, and don't fucking try and pass the heat in front of me because I know what you're trying to do. Because I fucking invented passing the heat. Well, not really. I just had it passed on to me, and I passed it to somebody else.
So Colin used about $800 and bought a lot of pepperoni. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's into pizza these days. He's just sitting in a closet eating pizzas, and then he goes and human traffics some people.
Oh my God, Ben, what?
There's some weird shit going on with his pizza company where he has to go drive around homeless crack addicts to a hotel and make sure they stay inside and don't do crack. And that's part of his pizza job.
That's what Colin does?
No, he manages
Oh.
a pizza place, but something with his job is making him have to go, I guess, keep crack addicts in a hostage situation, which I think is good practice. You know, I could see where that's a good life skill. I'm not really sure how that works into $5 big box deal, but we're going to see how it goes down.
Do you get like a chocolate chip cookie with that? Like in
I think you got to pay extra for ranch dressing with your crackhead hotel room. I'm not sure though. We'll see if I might have some coupons.
instead of a little chocolate in your pillow, they leave a fucking crack vial.
I don't know. I want to know what happens if somebody tries to leave the hotel, one of these ex-addicts, and Colin has to take them down. Like, and how does this figure into the pizza world? I don't know. More information to come.
Wait, you're blowing my mind right now because I speak to Colin every single day. So what you're telling me is that Colin's making pizzas for crackheads.
No,
and then
Colin is human trafficking for his pizza company.
Right.
And he is the coyote who has to keep them alive long enough for them to be organ harvested in China or whatever they're doing with these crackheads.
So then where do the Brazilian lesbian midgets come in?
I don't think there's like a specific one though. If you happen to be a Brazilian lesbian ex-crackhead who needs someone to make sure you're not on the pipe,
midget.
That's midget. That's where Colin comes in. You could be an Afghanistan transvestite if you want to. You could be in the next room in the hotel room. Colin is not racist and he's not sexist when it comes to who he human traffics.
Hulk Hogan is, though.
I don't want to make him look that way against Brazilian lesbian midgets. So that's the last people.
If we want to dive deeper, I mean, he did marry into more of a Latin family. Was that so that way he could build that bridge and connection?
Or was he kidnapped and forced to be married into a Latin family? And then from there, now they got him doing pizza management tasks.
Oh my God, dude. I thought I knew Colin. And this is really hurting me from the inside
high-level
out.
Conversations, Big Ray, that can be heard every week, every Wednesday night, 7:15 Eastern. More in depth with actual things that have meaning on the Conspiracy Horseman at twitch.tv/the Conspiracy Horseman. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Colin could be the
link.
Could be the linchpin to all this. I don't know. You know,
Is that why his wife? Oh man, like I Skype with them instead. Not Skype. I do the FaceTime gimmick and. Sometimes she shoves like underwear in his mouth and tells him to shut the fuck up and all this stuff. Like she's a boss. It's weird.
I've seen his kid on camera 4 different times. Each 4 times, it's a different kid.
Yes,
he's right. That's true.
Yeah. It's like one time is a black kid. The other time it was like
a daughter. And then he's got a son. And then he's got a different son. And something's going on.
I don't feel safe. I'm putting the shit.
And the kid was way too happy the last time we saw him.
Way too happy.
This ain't right.
Well, let's talk about one more thing before, and this segue into Impact Wrestling as well. Ethan Page, apparently his contract comes to a conclusion at the end of 2020. Should Page opt not to resign with the company, Impact is in the clear as far as their upcoming schedule, as they have recently taped enough television content to take them through Impact's Hard to Kill pay-per-view on January the 12th. However, being purely speculation, Page is well liked within the Impact organization. So if a deal would not be reached, he most likely would at least finish up at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Ben Hamin, what do you think? Ethan Page, I think he's a cornerstone. Would they be, myopic to let him go and not give him the money?
I think it's crazy to let him go, but I think he's gone already. to be honest with you. From what I see him thanking his fans for their Black Friday sales as Ethan Page kind of, or as Julian, who plays Ethan Page, out of character a little bit more. But really, he can blur that line now. He is of playing at a very high level. A very high level of being in the moment. Sometimes he overacts, but that's wrestling. That's what we do. And he's shifting gears and really just trying to find his real jazz riff right now of breaking out into that. And he's doing it at the perfect time. Now, most of the time I would say, oh, it's going to be a buddy thing and he'll go to AEW or whatever. And he knows all those guys too. And he's tight with Kingston. We all worked the same shows in Rochester together that Jeff Lane wouldn't come see. And then, you know,
that's how you
I think, to me, I could see him getting over as a singles act pretty big in NXT. He's got all the WWE training from FCW. Then he got let go. He made himself on the indies. He's got tons of charisma. He's in incredible shape right now, and he's working as hard as he ever has. And he knows his value. However, I think him and his tag partner are bad as fuck. Josh Alexander is the silent one. There's money there. I book them both and bring them in and run them as tag champs right out of the gate and keep the Canada shit going too. Why not? You know, like the North is a good name. I like that name. And even though it still really relates, I could see them with Baron Corbin. They're that good. They could skip NXT if you wanted. Compared to what we're seeing from Nia on Raw, you're going to fucking worry about what the North might do. They got to go to NXT and Proving Grounds. I'd put them right with Corbin. There's people who need them as backers, and it would be believable that way too. So, this is a mistake.
Through the ropes, man.
Yeah, this is a mistake by Impact letting these caliber guys go. But at the same time, they might not be able to pay him what he's worth. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
The all ego Ethan Page leave.
I mean, it's not a thing of letting him leave. You know, it's the thing.
I did let her. Just meant him saying him leave. You're saying,
this is the point I'm making. Like, you know, some people assume that Impact are letting these talents or just allowing them to leave. Maybe they want to keep them, but they just can't afford to keep them. This is the situation now with all ego Ethan Page. I agree with you, Ben. Remember when we first started doing this? I think it was me and Matt when Ethan Page and his partner came into the company, and Ethan Page was not in the shape that he's in now, like you said. The guy it seemed like he is taking this thing to another level. And yes, as cheesy as it may be, I think he cut some pretty good promos, even though his zipper got stuck when he tried to. Anyway, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's something you're going to try it and like, you're not going to get the same energy on take two or whatever. You know what I mean?
It was great. But let me just finish my thought and just listen, guys. Impact Wrestling is that type of company where they let one person go. Oh man, they let this big star go. There's no way they're gonna, and then they get somebody else. You know, it's a rotating door. Now, Ethan Page, if Impact re-signs him, I think he's good enough to be in that World Heavyweight Championship discussion. He's big enough. He's strong enough. He's good looking enough. He's, I think, in my humble opinion, Ben, you tell me if you disagree with me, a good enough worker, very consistent. The guy is great. He can do comedy. He can do serious. So
that's a problem, though.
Okay,
he did comedy very well when it should have been serious and heat going into this week. They had Hornswoggle go over on him in a house show match. Same shit I did at UPW with Swoggle. You know, in the AJ Styles rib, that was an opportunity to do the comedy and get heat on Page by laying Swoggle out viciously at the end. Instead, he did biz for what they asked him to do. And you're right on, Ray. Like, but the true metric is 160,000 people are watching. They have no crowds. They have no touring shows. What money is coming in? They own the network, so they're already probably doing a barter 50-50 system. So the only thing they can make is merch, pay-per-views, and 50% revenue money, and selling their tape library in small bits in digital, subscription. Tough to like keep it afloat. They're probably definitely losing money. And when you have to re-sign the North at 70 grand, let's say, reasonably 35, I'm just going 10 grand above what I know ROH basic is at 24 for the girls. So let's say it's 35 a piece, 40 tops, with merch or whatever. That's tough to say, okay, now I got to do that for how many shows? What's that break down to? They do 6-7 tapings. No. So they do 5 weeks at a time. So they do 10 tapings a year, right? 10, that's $400 a match. No. Yeah. $400 a match for those guys. Now I can get Killer Kelly and fucking whoever else for 150, 200. Now we've just cut $20,000 off our budget and shaved it that way. Sure, there's people who are hungry who are going to step up and do that. How much can you get Fala for not having a contract and just a per performance basis? All these shady wrestling things that have to be done by the office are what drive a guy who would be company loyal, brand loyal, who got himself over to have to go, I got to go to NXT. You know what I mean? And I think the same is exactly true with the Rascals. Like that's
right,
that.
I one of the so I got Buck _ shot kid _ shot. Anyway, he says he made it kind of I know it's he says that's in US dollars. We're talking about a Canadian company. Does that make a difference?
Whatever, dude. I get paid 150 at fucking Crossfire Canada. I stop at Niagara Falls and cash it in, and I'll get 121 back. So like in US. So there it is. Yeah. So raise it up however you want to. Instead of 70, it's 80, but it's really going to be fucking 70 in US. And believe me, the wrestling promoter in Canada will use that. Well, you couldn't make this kind of money down there, what you can make here. Well, that's taken in the exchange rate. It's the exact fucking same thing. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm actually taking a small, I love working in Canada. But I'm always taking whatever that is, 11% hit every time I change my money for my booking rates. I could be a dick and be like, it's that cost of doing business. You know what I mean? I could be like, oh, I want $171 because that comes out to 150 US. If you're that kind of cunt, guess what? You're not going to be booked for very long. I think about doing long-term, bigger business,
Got it.
All right. Well, I mean, that's some of the stories I had there in conversation we had there, guys, for your Impact prelude here as we get now into Impact Wrestling from last night. Unless you had anything else you'd wanted to speak on, Big Ray, anything you'd like to put over before we get into Impact Wrestling?
I'm just fucking. I'm still blown away by the whole Colin Pizza thing, man. The fact that every time I don't notice that one day it's a fucking Asian kid, the next day it's a black kid, the next day it's a Mexican kid, the next day it's a fucking. You think you know somebody? Been working with the guy for how long?
Nope.
I'm just anyway. Group what?
Group.
Sorry.
Where is it? I gotta switch everything on the roadcaster to get it over.
Group.
I gotta be honest with you. That's like a shot of Russo brand coffee in the morning.
Is it?
Oh, yes, it is.
How will you fucking stop?
Hey, you talking to me?
Oh shit, man! Good stuff all the way around. This show, really 2 awesome matches on this show. I was blown away at the quality of them, man. Because one, I said there's match of the week in wrestling, and then the main happened. I was like, damn, that might that might push it out of the spot. So this was a good show and some good vignettes all the way around, man. What we open with the recap of the Eddie getting fucking gimmicked up by Sammy and them.
Rock and Callahan. Yeah. So we started with that recap, and then we came into Madison. They did the intro. And then we just went immediately into the first match with Triple XL taking on Motor City Machine Guns. At the end of the match, we saw a backbreaker combination from Triple XL. And then we see a splash off the top that was missed. Bulldog on to Romero from Sabin, followed by double suplex, double drop kick, and a neck breaker. And then Motor City Machine Guns picked up the victory. I thought it was interesting that they ended up giving Motor Machine Guns the victory, but then ended up giving Triple XL more of a spotlight with character and story later on in the night. I mean, great for both teams, obviously, because they're still getting showcased. But I thought it was interesting to kind of, put them down here, if you will, with the loss, but then elevate them later in the night. What did you think, Ben? Go banana.
Yeah, I've had a couple weird things on this in notes wise, and I get it because they got heat on Alex Shelley and hurt his neck, and this is why. But I don't like Motor City Machine Guns as the good-looking baby faces, even though they've got a beef with them, jumping the big guys from behind and hot shot and starting this match, even though they do got beef with these dudes. So I do understand why that conversation went down, but that's always a heel thing to do, even if it's in your storyline. You know what I mean? What would have been better is the heels try to fucking hot shot them, Triple XL, they low bridge it, and both of those guys take the Hindenburg bump over the top rope out of the ring, and the babies are up ready to fight. That makes them look baby face, and we're smarter than you. We knew the heel thing was coming, and we're more athletic. Instead, the two midget guys are fucking jumping the behemoths. No guy in a fight who's doing a David and Goliath, and now you're doing a tag team David and Goliath. David don't run into fucking Goliath and fucking shove him in the chest and go, come on, motherfucker. What does a little guy want to do? Create distance, get in and out, or hit from a fucking far. You know what I mean? You don't run into fucking glom if they got their backs turned, man. So there's little things like that where I'm always like, Impact's going to impact and make their own choices, but those guys are more over than I am, so it's whatever. They got a lot of heat on Larry D in this too. I think babies of that size fighting in David Goliath, their match means so much more when they get their ass kicked and sell left and right. They should have tried to get all their shit in, and at every step of the way, AC and fucking Larry shut them down. They outquick them going to the next spot, shut down. Outquick them going to the next spot, shut down. We didn't kind of get that story. And I think Larry D and AC, being indie guys, working guys who are a little bit more established, they do what I tell you guys to do, which is shut the fuck up when you're working with guys who are more established than you and listen and learn. But they didn't make those big guys into how they should have been. There should have been more steamroller spots and shutting down Shelley in the corner and reaching for that fucking tag, and Timber fucking falls on him. Dude, when he hit him with that fucking senton, he fucking killed him, bro. He killed him. And like, that should be what it is. You only need to see that little guy get hit by the Mack truck one time and then let him sell for fucking 30 seconds. Pick him up like you're going to do something. He ducks like he's going to get the tag, shut him down, hit him again with the fucking Mack truck. There's 2 minutes eaten up right there, and you just let him sell. But it's everybody's got to get their shit in constantly, bro. And that's what I don't like.
Big Ray, what do you think of this opening bout?
Okay, so I hear everything you're saying, Ben, and I don't disagree with anything. But I looked at this match differently. I looked at this match and I picked out one person out of this match to say that's somebody that can be something special. Hear me out. Larry D. Larry D. So now you have to understand, I was watching NXT every single week, and I really wasn't watching Impact every single week. I really haven't noticed that I don't know. Well, since Larry D started, his body's changed a bit. Seems like
he's working hard in the gym, bro. You can see he's getting fucking really muscular, like thickness wise.
But not only that, but now he plays that character. He plays the funny guy. He plays the lover boy. He plays the serious killer. He's doing a little bit of everything. He's showing me a little bit of everything. And in this match, I thought he worked well. For me watching this match, I said, all right. So I want to say to myself, wow, why is this believable? You got these two guys that have been a tag team for well over a decade, okay, maybe 15 years. These guys move around the ring like little jackrabbits, strike, back and off strike. I saw them as keeping distance. I like the fact that the big guys, it took them like 2 or 3 moves or even 4 moves to get them off their feet. You know what I'm saying? They weren't.
That's the problem, Ray. They never should have left their feet, okay? It's always they're just about to fucking drop the big tree, and then the other dude comes in and kills them. And they didn't. They kept dropping the big tree. And once you do that, we've seen it. There's no place else to go after that, dude.
It's kind of like the whole scenario where can 12 Matt Shaffers defeat one Ken Shamrock? 20. Sorry,
no.
20. You got two guys, okay, two guys who are about $180 each, punching one guy that's about 400 pounds, or hitting him with something. I'm just using a lot, like legit. This is what I was thinking when I'm watching the freaking match. So I'm like, is it believable they could take this guy off his feet with a double drop kick? That's 4 feet. That's 2 pair of feet. Yeah, I can see how it works. I know it's over analytical. I know it sounds crazy, but when I watch a match where you have two behemoths versus two really small guys, I always try to think to myself.
Let me tell you why not, though.
Okay, I get you, Ben. I know you're gonna.
There's a reason, and here's the wrestling wise why I don't like it either.
Okay.
Shelley and Sabin should know that they should be from underneath and getting shut down all the time. Like their money is being on the cell and winning out of nowhere, not getting your shit in. That's unbelievable acrobatic shit that ends up no selling. Right. They should also, as top professionals go, nobody should ever take big man off his feet. Like their job is to protect his size. Mm-hmm. And be like, the whole match should be based around, are we going to get him? Are we going to get him? And we don't, because nobody takes big man off his feet. Right. Only another guy his size should be able to take him off his feet. So even if it's 2-on-1 and he shuts him down, guess what? That puts big man over even bigger. And that's their job to get that over. Instead, they go, nah, 2 of us could get him off his feet. No, his whole gimmick is being a big giant motherfucker. We all need to protect that.
The only thing I didn't like was Sabin kicking out on the senton.
Oh.
That
Kill him, bro. He killed him. Good rib, right? But here's what I didn't like either. So if we weren't going to tell that story, what happened? They came in and took out Shelley and fucking killed him on the ramp and fucked his neck up. Shelley and them, in retribution, should have been going for AC's fucking neck, trying to fucking do something. But they're baby faces, so now they're going to get heel retribution heat on the big man. There's just a lot of things that don't make sense. And to me, I'll say it, at the end of the day, it feels like Shelley and Sabin their whole MO is to put together enough little buzz so people will go, we want to see Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks, and they can jump ship based on what they've done to put themselves back in by looking strong and taking out these indie guys, no matter how big they are, that we're still doing get your shit in wrestling, and people are going to want to see that versus the Bucks. I feel like that's the deal they've made, and that's the kind of wrestling we're going to see from them. And be damned the rest of the show and the roster, bro.
Motor City Michigan Guns versus Young Bucks.
Dude, why wouldn't you put the belts on them? You already got the door open with Cyrus and fucking Omega. Build the machine guns is fuck wrestling. We're going to get our shit in, and it's going to be sexy, and they'll get the belts on them. Build the Bucks. Who's going to answer the call? And they fucking come.
Quick questions. Does anybody here know which blue gas station dick pills Rip Roger is using?
Oh, I'm sure we can get you some.
Okay, there's not a specific name for that, right?
They go in there and ask for them. Any gas station in Indiana, just say, give me them blue dick pills. And
it's not for me. It's for Colin.
For Colin? Hmm.
Yeah.
Long road.
Not that long.
But yeah, that's there was too much there in this match. Just like I get it, but then other things didn't pay off.
Matt?
Yeah, well, concluding is that we moved on to Josh Matthews and Madison running down what's coming on the card. Go outside, Scott D'Amore confronting Sami Callihan, Ken Shamrock. Now, if you notice, Scott D'Amore only brought 5 or 6 guys. Should worry him. He needs to bring 20, as I've mentioned. And so much so Shamrock was not even intimidated, but D'Amore informed Shamrock that he's suspended for a month. Callihan proceeds to kind of quell Shamrock's aggression, gives him the key to his car, says, go back to the hotel, we'll figure it out. and then Callahan storms in. So interesting way to start off, I guess, Callahan's story for the night. Big Ray, what did you think of Cam Shamrock not taking out all 6 guys? I mean,
well,
so taking them out, right?
First, I got to tell you, Ed O'Neill, aka Al Bundy, looks fantastic. He looks amazing. I don't know if he's taking anyway. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do that. You know what stuck out to me during this segment, and you guys are gonna. I don't know if you guys caught on to this when this is one of the first times that I remember that they ever mentioned Bob's name on Impact Wrestling TV.
I think he was on camera back in the TNA days a couple times as well.
I'm talking about in a long time.
Oh yeah, no.
Like at least 10 years they haven't said Bob Ryder, because it just blew me away how Sami Callihan's looking at Al Bundy, and he's like, "Hey, Diesel Al Bundy, listen, I'm gonna call Bob Ryder." They bleep it out. So you didn't hear Bob Ryder's name, but that's what he said to book this vacation for you. I know that's not what I'm supposed to be paying attention to, but that kind of took me away because I started thinking about Bob. With all that being said, this was a good segment. I agree with you, Matt. I think Al Bundy should have. I mean, he scored 4 touchdowns, for Polk High. Why couldn't he beat up those 5 jobbers?
I'm not going to call him Ed O'Neill because
What?
I need 19 guys with me.
That wasn't him?
Take him. I respectfully acknowledge it is Ken Shamrock, and I need 19 gentlemen to beat him up. Okay, so if you want to call him Ed O'Neill and try to take him on yourself, that's your prerogative.
Oh, I have no problem. That's what I have no problem. Hey, let me tell you something, Ken Shamrock. That's your real name.
Hold on. I don't want to. For those in the chat room, thank you for letting me know. Apparently, my volume was low. I have turned myself up a little bit. Hopefully, it is now higher. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me tell you something, brother. All right, Ken Shamrock. If that's your real name, I think it's Ed O'Neill. I can kick your ass. I don't need 20 other people. I will beat your ass myself. Let me tell you something, man. If you have any problems, you go to Hamin Media and you look for Colin Wysong, because that is who I am. That is my name. Yeah, okay. My baby is my baby. Change it every single week. I'm a tough son of a bitch. Ken Shamrock, you want a piece of me? You don't want a piece of me. I will eat your ass from the inside out. My name is Colin Wysong.
Well, I think, Colin, you might have a better chance. I mean, you are into trafficking, so I mean, I guess you could probably make some things happen. I don't know.
Big joke now. Ken Shamrock hasn't got shit to do for 30 days till he fucking knocks on your door next week.
This isn't video, right?
We're live right here. Ken, I think Ken might be in the chat room, 30 strong at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman.
Wait, are you serious?
I mean, I'm not serious. I have nothing to do with this. I know Ken
makes money.
Murder.
You gotta get bits. You think we're not live? You think he's gonna spend time on here talking to these people for fun? No. Live.
I feel nauseous.
Already insulted the Pat Patterson, and now Ken Shamrock's looking for you. It's not a good day for a return. Go ahead.
Someone who wasn't feeling nauseous anymore, a very healthy and recovered Johnny Bravo, as he confronts Larry D backstage for trying to kill him. Last week, Larry D, of course, the alter ego, Lawrence D, confessed that he shot Bravo because he was in love with Rosemary first. Tommy Dreamer breaks up the fight between Bravo and Larry D, as Larry D has him in a chokehold and holds him above him upon against the wall. And then Dreamer says that he does not believe that Larry D was set up, as Larry D is attesting. The Dreamer wants him to go downtown with him. He's wearing like a police shirt. He's like, I'm a police officer. And he tries to pull out a badge. They're like, that's not a badge. He's like, oh, I must have left it somewhere. And then eventually Larry D. Cole cocks him and they walk out. So as I mentioned, it was a little odd to kind of show them lose, but then immediately show them here in such a I don't know, strong way. What did you think of this, Ben?
I mean, it was wrestle craptastic. There's things I really don't like Johnny Bravo, his intensity and whatnot to serve the scene is perfect, but we left 8 to 10 weeks of compelling TV on the table by having Johnny Bravo wake up, show up at Wrestler's Court, and now he's back in his Night at the Roxbury clothes and shit. Like, I just think Johnny Bravo is a brilliant performer, and there was a lot more to those scenes of him coming out of the coma, of characters getting to interact with him, like we saw D'Amore do in one scene. I could have used 6 weeks of that and not felt like we were jumping the shark, really, to be honest with you. And then for him to wake up and be a different Johnny Bravo, that's a whole other opportunity. Or Johnny Bravo with no memory, like where can we go in these types of things? Dreamer was funny and trying to get the wrestle crap where he's a cop or he's a whatever over, and now he's just kind of different versions of Dreamer, whatever it takes, judge, jury, and executioner. But Larry D and them at the end saying the scene that they were set up. So remember I said last week, I'm interested to see where they're going to go, because it seems like the true culprits were Hernandez and Reno Scum, but they didn't even take the stand in wrestlers court to plant that seed. So long-term game from what I saw in Wrestle House, and if R.D. Evans is writing this, I'm sure he's got a longer vision for it. But that was an interesting little twist at the end of like, what do you mean we're getting set up? We've been set up.
Well, following that, we then headed back to the ring to continue the opening round for the Knockouts Tag Team Title Tournament. We've got Killer Kelly and my new pinup girl that I'd like to buy a poster of, Renee Michelle, taking on Jazz and Jordan Grace in a Knockouts Tag Team Championship. There's also a legend, of course, debuting, that being Jazz. This was a tag team match. It's pretty good. Ultimately, though, as I think we kind of figured how they're kind of laying this out, Jazz and Jordan Grace do pick up the victory and move on to the next round. Big Ray, what were your thoughts on Team Jazz here on Impact Wrestling?
Well, first, let me give a quick opinion on the segment before with Tommy Dreamer and Larry. No, it's cool with Larry D and Tommy Dreamer. I thought that was pretty cool. I just found out that Ed O'Neill is also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Gracie black belt.
Dude, he's a Gracie black belt, dude. Al Bundy's you're gonna get fucked up twice. That's why I didn't say shit. I'm not running.
Like this works out really well for me, because after Shamrock maybe gets a little bit tired, I can come in with the 20 guys, and now I actually might have a shot. So thank you, Big Ray. I mean, Colin. Thank you, Colin.
Fuck yeah, no, they see the video anyway. It doesn't matter. So I gotta say, well, more ways than one, like he said. So man, I gotta say, God bless you, seeing Jazz in the ring, with the bald head, she looked cool. Does that make sense? Like Jazz looked good, man. Like she looked like that old bitch that would just fuck you up in several different ways.
Somebody from Orange Is the New Black. Like,
yeah, dude. Like it's
you can move back a little bit.
It's I'm sorry. I'm so used to leaning in.
Jazz reminds me of all like my friends' moms growing up in California. Like
oh my God, you serious?
Like that would take care of you, make you food, but if you pissed her off, she would slap the shit out of you. Like that's
yeah, absolutely. Well, all right. So look, man. So we got Killer Kelly, Renee Mitchell. Those girls are awesome. Those girls are really awesome. Killer Kelly, I like her a lot.
That's Rockstar Spud's wife is the other one.
Bro, Renee Mitchell. No, I know who she is. Renee Mitchell is so unbelievably gorgeous. Like she's like unreal beautiful. She's almost like that old hag at AEW that got upset over Twitter. What's her name? Cody's wife. Oh, what's her name?
Randy.
Yeah, whatever. Tequila, whatever her name is. So it's like her.
You see Jay Cargill, that other new chick they got over there?
AEW, bro.
Oh boy, Ray. Oh boy.
Anyway. Killer Kelly stood out to me in this match. I can't
go any forward. I'm already right into the mic. You want me to yell?
Okay, so he's not close enough, and I'm too close.
100%.
And Ben's right there in the middle.
And you're at 110.
I don't know. That's so weird. Normally, I'm fucking loud, and I have to pull
You're
away.
You're right where you need to be, Matt. It's Ray is so over the top that it makes you.
All right, so
you're on the same channel. That's why.
I'm gonna sit back here. How's that, guys?
That's pretty close to about right, dude.
You bastards.
But your mic is that hot, bro.
Wow, that's crazy, man. This thing. Anyway, that's what happens when you pay money for a decent.
It's a nice mic, yeah.
That's what she said.
You don't have to be right on it.
All right, so I'm not gonna be on it. So I'm gonna talk from back here. So here's the deal. Okay, Killer Kelly was the star whenever there's a tag team match, a 6-man, whatever shit fest, like you call it, whatever you call it, Ben, I always look for one shining light. And I thought everybody here was really good. Again, Jazz was fantastic. Gracie in the ring, she looked like she hasn't aged in about 15, 20 years from what I see. What's that?
Black don't crack, bro.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. But and speaking of crack, Colin knows a lot about that, but neither here nor there. But Killer Kelly is a star, a future star. But let me ask you a question, guys. Why is it that every fighter who does MMA, except for Bro with the sandals gimmick on SmackDown, how come everybody has to wear a mouthpiece? Is that like do you have to do that?
I think if you're putting over the MMA shit, it's necessary. Plus, if you're a fighter, that's just what you train with. I mean, you know that, to have it in there. And believe me, that one of those last matches I worked in Canada, took a running bulldog, bit down on my tongue, put 3 holes in my tongue, was spitting out blood fucking 3 minutes into the match, a 15-minute match. So maybe, I mean, I don't train with a mouthpiece in, and it's hard for me to keep my cardio up as is, but it's a lot better than punching 3 holes in your fucking tongue, I guess.
For some reason, whenever I was gassed, you ever wear a mouthpiece and you get nauseous from having the mouthpiece in your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Bad. But anyway, so long story short, this was a fun, solid match. I think the right girls went over. I like the fact that Jazz got the win in this match, really giving her, showing fans that may not know who she is. They're probably some young 20-something-year-olds watching this right now. Who is this killer-looking black chick, with the bald head? I loved it. And Killer Kelly, I hope to see her a hell of a lot more on TV. And Renee Mitchell is possibly, in my humble opinion right now, possibly top 3 of the most beautiful women in professional wrestling. She's that gorgeous, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Matt.
Well, I didn't know. I forgot that she was married to Drake Maverick, so now I'm going to cry because I like Drake, so I don't want to disrespect him.
You have a shot, dude.
No,
you're just as good as you're just as good looking as Spud.
Yeah.
Bigger, thicker.
Yeah, Drake has been trained by Rip Rogers, so like, fuck that guy. I'm just saying. Already learned. Have you listened to Patreon.com/Hamin Media Group? Come on. Anyway.
Yeah, it could be a 3-way tie between Rockstar Spud's wife, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill for like thoroughbred, most beautiful women in wrestling right now.
I would also say Chris Silvio's lady Jenna.
Oh yeah, Jenna Van Muscles too. There's no doubt about that. And they'll all whoop that ass. They're all muscular and they all look like Olympic athletes, pretty much, man. So, yeah, this was the new girls doing business for the legend here. If you're going to throw a double bicep pose at the end, go to StevieRichardsFitness.com and actually work on your biceps. That's my tip of the day. But yeah, this is the nostalgia bit. It should have been good tip of the hat to Jazz on her way out. And they could have done business if they wanted to, but they're going forward in the women's tag tournament. So we'll see more of them.
Following this fantastic promo from Ethan Page. I don't need to say anything else, Ben.
No, he killed it, man. He worked the camera. He took it all up and down every roller coaster ride that you want to. It was a little overacted, but like I say, it was never to the point of like, this is amateur. And he was just trying to be in the moment. And like right now he's playing high level jazz. He's just got to find what notes to leave out that are more important. The best work we do is when we say nothing at all. What can we do with a look? He has great facial ability and charisma that comes through without having to say anything, and he can convey emotion, which is phenomenal. But I go with Jizzle from Wu-Tang. Make it half short and twice strong.
Big Ray, were you impressed with this jazz flute jam session by Ethan Page? Now he's muted.
It's awesome. He never sounded better.
Dare you? How dare you? Zipper got stuck.
Yeah, Zipper got stuck.
I don't know, dude. But no, man. I like Ethan Page a lot, man. But Ben just shut me down, dude. Before you were like, yeah, he's doing funny stuff, and he can't be doing both over here. I don't know, Ben. I like what I saw here.
Oh, it's not Ethan. Yeah, it's just. Here's what they did last week, Ray. Good Brothers come out. They're gonna rib AJ Styles with Hornswoggle, right? He comes out as little AJ Styles.
I saw that.
It's fucking hilarious.
The We Nominal.
We Nominal. So Good Brothers are doing their whole rib wrestling fucking thing, making their money, so it fits in, right? But these guys are serious about the belt, so the joke's already been done that he has to wrestle fucking the Winominal one. He should have just blasted. They should have in a couple comedy spots, but then he just kicks him in the face and kills him and pins him 1, 2, 3. We got the comedy over and we get the heat. They didn't do that. He rolls him up. Now Ethan Page looks stupid because a midget rolled him up in a comedy thing. And they got the joke in. He never got the heat. We could have got both.
Right.
He could have kept his integrity. So 1 week he's doing strictly comedy act. The next week he's back to heater. One needs to lead into the other, and they missed that transition when they could have got 2-part business done. Right,
I get it. And even if they did the roll up, at least you could have had, like you said, Ethan Page at the after the bell rang, take the guy and choke slam him out.
Yeah, kill him. And like they didn't. He leaves up, and Page is doing the oh my god, I got beat by a midget face, which is a fine match at a house show, or if you're strictly a comedy act doing that. Not when you're about to come back in a blood feud of I took out Luke Gallows, motherfucker, and I'm going to fucking take you out too. Well, you got beat by a fucking midget last week. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's just, I don't know, man.
Do the comedy and shut it down with extreme violence and let him win. Because the damage is already done by insulting them by doing the comedy.
And you really think Ethan Page is sticking around? Oh,
No, I think he's gone.
He's gone, right? I agree with you.
Things like that of putting, and here's The Office, things like that of putting Hornswoggle over on him is the test from The Office or the fuck you from The Office. Even though they all might like him, they want to fucking, he didn't do what they wanted to do, so we're not going to do the right finish. We're going to do a finish that pops the crowd on one show and doesn't carry the overarching storyline because you're on your way out anyway. When things like that happen, it makes me believe he's got 1 foot out the door already.
Oh, I got a text message from Strangler Steve. Breaking news: the jacket that Ethan Page wore was gimmicked up.
It was all. It probably got suspended with Braun.
Yes, sir. What?
Well, following that great promo from Ethan Page, I thought we got another good performance here out of Alicia Edwards as to Neil Dashwood and Caleb with K.
Fuck yeah.
They find Alicia Edwards, who is looking for Sami Callihan. She ignores them, eventually seeing Callahan, and then she jumps on his back, attacks him. Security breaks it up. I'm going to put, again, Alicia Edwards over the last month. Her character is really starting to come along. Just little bits and pieces of her. Not overexposing her. Great. And this was fun. This was good. How you'd expect a pissed off wife
to act, who's got to attack a guy who's crazy. And what was great about it is we started with a comedy scene, and you thought it was going to be Alicia in a comedy scene, and then it got deadly fucking serious. That was a very strong directing choice, and I really liked that. And Alicia, her performance made it. That 100%, dude. She was fucking in the moment. Very real. I'm coming at you. One of the probably the most realist scenes I've seen in wrestling this week. And to split it from what looked like it was going to be an R-Truth level comedy segment into that made it even more awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Big Ray.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, here's a funny thing. The last time I consistently watched Impact Wrestling, Alicia Edwards was the shits. When it came to
you see the progression.
The absolute shits.
Ray, in that Wrestle House, she played, so there'd be like an A, B, and C character scene.
Oh, no, I was watching.
So she would play the C character and really add to the scene more than she ever did when she was the shits. I agree. But since then, she's realized that her supporting actress roles round out the world and the storyline more than how they're just in the front lines. And a thing like that did more business than the beatdown on Eddie did last week. Her reaction to it made it way more real. And dude, I hit Eddie up when Tracy Smothers passed because I had some 2CW picks that hadn't been released there. I knew he'd want some of them posing together. I said, dude, tell the wife she's doing a phenomenal job. Like we're really impressed with the how far she's come in such a short amount of time. And she's been in the biz, for 10 years with Eddie and on and off in the Northeast. But on camera in the last 4 or 5 months, bro, she has improved weekly, and you can measure it, that success.
So let me finish.
I like this Alicia Edwards. I don't like when she plays the typical girl. Jordan Grace wants to be like me. Like don't give me that. Give me, this is the
give me real reactions from her. She was in the moment, man.
I want to and again, I don't want to come off. Anyway, I'll just say it. I want crazy bitch Alicia Edwards. This is what crazy.
But you need somebody. That means you got to split. Havoc and Nevaeh are doing business in the women's tag thing.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people know this, but whatever. Sammy and fucking Havoc been together for years. What? So the like, if she's going to go, then we need a woman in their crew to pay that off. And Havoc coming in means Alicia gets stomped out in a second. There's not going to be a 50-50 Havoc versus Alicia, because if they do that, that's completely wrong. But that I was thinking that too. Like, how are you going to pay off Alicia's heat with another girl when you don't have Havoc tied to Sammy? Maybe Ken Shamrock will just come in and punch out Alicia. That'd be fucking strong.
Oh my God. I have an issue right now. My hot Asian landlord hasn't turned on the heat. It's very cold in here.
It's cold. Don't worry, you keep talking. We'll be warming up.
Well, hey, as they say,
that mic is hot enough. You should be able to get
but why is it so loud? I don't understand.
This shit. Asian don't strain. I don't know. I just wanted to put that up.
Speak up, man. I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh.
Coming up next after that, free at last. Johnny Swinger is free at last. He makes his way out of the court. They showed the reaction of Johnny Swinger being vindicated. He makes his way down to the ring to go one-on-one with Cody Deaner. Unfortunately, this match pretty much goes to a no contest as we see the interference from Eric Young and Joe Doring. And post-match, Eric Young then warns them and the rest of the Impact locker room, the world belongs to them. They'll keep proving it every week. So interesting that they chose Johnny Swinger as one of the participants in this match after that, but I guess he is one of the comedy characters, so it doesn't necessarily overall hurt him. Is that loud enough? Am I loud here?
What's that?
No reverb. That's why I was just trying to avoid any echo. That's why I haven't been.
Oh, you're loud. Great. You're great, Matt. Group. Yeah, dude. Joe Doring needs to get whatever leftover brawn has before he gets rid of it and flushes it. Yeah, and brother, you got to do some push-ups before you come through, man. You really got to hit the gym hard. You got a chance to be on TV now. He looked softer. I think this was the first episode from the new set of tapings. He looked softer than he did in his debuts. So big man.
You talking about Doring?
Yeah, the big fucking Magnum TA motherfucker.
No, I know who he is, and I
think he looks awesome, but he needs to be more jacked.
I saw last week. Yeah, but you know what? For me, Ben, I feel you. But he is that realistic looking, big, giant, beer swilling cowboy that's going to come in, kick you right in the face. You're about to go on TV. Do 80 push-ups backstage. 60.
Okay. Deal. I mean, you're the one who's got to go out there without your shirt off, not me.
I'm not going out with anything on.
You're gonna need to do 80 to take on Shamrock.
That's it.
I'm not taking on Shamrock, dude.
Welcome back to the Impact Attack. Heats off me. I passed it.
What else? Eric Young in this. But dude, you want to talk about somebody who does look phenomenal? Not that he was ever in bad shape, but Cody Deaner is as lean and as fucking strong as he's ever been. And Cousin Jake is a fucking house. And like Cousin Jake to me is one of those guys that are like Shelton Benjamin. They look jacked on TV. And then when you're standing next to him, you're like, God damn, this is a big, strong motherfucker right here. but TV don't do them justice. Then I'm telling you what, if you ever stood next to either of them, Cousin Jake or him, who did I say, Shelton Benjamin, you're like, what the fuck? Because usually the camera adds 10 pounds to everybody, not those two. I don't know why it makes them smaller than they are. And they don't look small on TV. They're just that much bigger in real life. Then even the out part of this, I didn't mind him leave him laying because, we get the classic fucking Psycho Sid promo from Eric Young. This is my world, my rule. What is your rule? What do you rule? An empty arena and fucking 160,000 fucking, okay, congratulations. I have 50,000 downloads a week. So we're coming right up on you. You might have heard us. We went up 16 spots on the US charts this week, 7 on the UK. So soon I will be cutting the promo. I am the master and ruler of the world. And Ray will be standing there with his shirt off.
Raju on the latest.
Should I take it off now?
So, that was decent because we get a promo later backstage with a red hot Cody Deaner, which is another very real moment. And he's flipping out because he used to ride the roads in Canada with Eric Young and before Deaner was over, and for him to do that and turn on him, now we have real stakes. That was a good scene to set up some reality into phony wrestling, man. I liked it.
Yeah, when we get there, I have a comment on just some of the language. But before we got there, we had the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly Fine father James Mitchell. They basically wanted to inquire once more: had James Mitchell, precluded Susie to turn her back into, or sorry, Susie Sue Young to turn her back into Susie? James Mitchell explains, that's not that easy. You just, I don't have I can't just call her whenever I want to. And they devise a scheme that they will get the attention of Sue Young. Then, as you mentioned, yes, we went into that Deaner's promo where he's disgusted by Eric Young and Joe Doran's interference. Just a few minutes ago before that, Deaner and Young go back as he explains that when Cody was just training to become a wrestler, he was the one that was essentially Eric Young's young boy. He drove him to the arenas, drove him around. He once called Young family, but now he wants to prove to the world-class maniac that he's not a nobody, he's a somebody. So the only thing I didn't like about this promo is I don't like when you have tag teams and the other tag team partner goes, no, I'm going to do this on my own. This is all me. Like, I just don't like that. Because if I was ever in a situation with my boys, I wouldn't be like, no, bro, you stay back. You
may very well be soon enough.
No, I'm just saying. Well, at least I got Stevie Ray.
At least I got Stevie Ray. Yeah, no, I get that. It's a little wrestling, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if it's that much of a grudge match between two guys and they want to clarify it, that's just wrestling. I'm not going to try and defend it to the nth degree. I get you. Plus, that language they were speaking was Canadian, so you might not have understood what they were saying.
True, buddy. That's true, buddy. I forgot. Sorry. What do you think, Big Ray Hernandez? You seem like you've been a little quiet over there. You okay? Are you thinking about your life, mulling everything over?
I'm sorry, Ken.
It's too late.
It's too late now, dude.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Does it sound like Ken Shamrock to be able to turn it off? No.
All right. So with Cody Deaner, fuck my life. With Cody Deaner, I actually like the promo. I agree with you. Like it gets. I don't know what it is with wrestlers. Maybe Ben can explain why wrestlers get too wrestly when they start talking for some reason. I felt Cody was trying to be genuine. And I agree with you, man. They both looked great. Like aesthetically, both guys looked great on camera, dude. Like I was like, holy shit, these guys are like Cody and Jake. Yes, you see the size of Jake's arm is twice as big as Cody's, but Cody is starting to get cut and defined and stuff like that. And Cody looks like that yoga strong. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that Stevie Richards yoga program strong. You can't get any stronger than that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, strong
bastard. When he grabs a hold of you, it's. To me, because I'm a fair amount bigger than him, it's not anything like holy shit, this little fucker's strong as shit. But He's fast, man, and he knows he can get into stuff so quick and out quick you. Like that's his natural ability. But putting together matches easier, and I always love the fact that once he hits the DDT, it's all over. there ain't no kicking out.
Who's Shamrock 666 on Twitch? Sending me a private message.
I think it's Disco El Swayze looking for transgenders.
Okay, just I'll reply anyway. Yeah, so it was great, man. I actually I really did like this promo, and but it gets a little wrestly. This is where I have to suspend. I have to understand I'm watching wrestling to enjoy it because the guy did it. Listen,
it's Canada, bro. I gotta tell you that's how they like it. When I wrestle up there, it's like WWF 87 to 95. Like the attitude and feel of it. That's just what they're kind of cut from. Like that's their style. And I know exactly what you're saying, but I think you're seeing that on TV, and that's just their natural thing, right? They just they don't work a ruthless, like real angle that much. Even when they do, it's got a little bit of old school, hey pal, on it.
Right.
But
it gets to a point that every whooping board, every comedy act loses it.
I agree.
This seems again wrestling 101. Lumpy Magoo, the guy you talk about all the time. What's that?
The best.
Yeah, Lumpy Magoo, guy who got his ass kicked, right? And then finally, he would get the win. Eventually, he would snap and get the win. How many other characters? Eugene, Nick Dinsmore, another guy who would snap and get the win. So I can see this working, man. I'm just really fucking terrified right now, guys.
Yeah, I would be. He's got 30 days. He ain't got nothing better to do.
I just Matt. Is there any way you can edit that? Wait, this isn't live, right? We don't do live anymore. It's just like.
Says live in the corner.
You realize that when Ben Hamin is on the show, he's in control. You think he gives me control of the edit? Seriously?
I had to
fight I had to wait 3 years to get into the Friday locker room, and even that show that I was in control of Ben Hamin was stressed out. So you think he's gonna let me edit? You're fucked. I mean, good luck to you.
I think Ray's one of your 20, like by design.
Yeah, I told you got to join up, bro.
There's no
join up.
There's no
the match. Au revoir.
You got Big Ray. You got Big Ray, and you got Stevie Ray. Those are your first 2 recruits so far.
Oh wait, we got Stevie Ray. Is any way I can have Stevie Ray be my friend?
No. Stevie Ray ain't gonna do nothing but feed you to the lions.
Yeah, you're first.
Yeah.
And then it's the 20 guys that I've got, and then Stevie Ray comes in, and
he's your last. He's your human shield.
Well, you know what? At least I have Ben Hamin backing me up.
He's not Ben Hamin. It's not.
I'm with Shamrock. I'm backing up Shamrock. I'm coming in to whoop that ass. What's next?
So let's move on. Cue ups. I like the flow of this episode of Impact, because they go right back into Deonna Purrazzo now with Kimberly. And her out in the ring. The Knockouts champion calls out Su Yung for her haunting presence the last couple of weeks. She says if she wants to end this now and she wants to get her rematch that she's entitled to as the former champion to come out, now is the time to do it. So she comes out and she arrives down to the ring, and then just as she gets down to the ring, James Mitchell's music hits, and then Father James Mitchell tells Su Yung that she doesn't want to do this, or he doesn't want to do this, I'm sorry, but he says that tonight she will pay for her sins. And then all of the undead bridesmaids, they make their return as they slowly walk down to the ramp, surround themselves, distracting Su Yung for a brief moment as Deonna Purrazzo jumps into the ring, beats the crap out of her, and then Purrazzo stops Young in time before receiving the red mist, begins to choke her. Purrazzo sends her out with the Costa Nostra, which is her pile driver, and then the undead bridesmaids lift Young out of the ring and carry her to the back in a haunting image to end the scene. Big Ray Hernandez, we'll start with you, since I know that you might be going to hell and joining Su Yung very shortly as well. What did you think?
Well, no, why would you think I'm going to hell?
Well, you're going to be dead after the Ken.
But why would I go directly to hell? Now, I don't even have a shot at heaven, he's saying.
Because you buried Pat Patterson earlier
today. Yeah, Pat Patterson.
All right. So we got Su Yung choking on her own gimmick. Wait, that came out wrong.
That's what I go.
Listen, I mean, Well, there was a sense of eeriness to this. I had to lose myself for a minute in the segment. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when I watch wrestling, I watch it differently. It's like, all right, so when I watch AEW, I watch it by turning the channel. Now, when I watch good wrestling, like NXT and Impact Wrestling, what I do is I look for certain things that are going to make me believe what I'm seeing on TV. I know it sounds weird. So we have the devil coming out. We have the little demons, the undead brides surrounding the ring. During that time, like, what's going to happen? Are they all going to attack her like in those zombie movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought they were going to rush the ring, but no, it was Deonna Purrazzo who comes in the ring and she takes care of business. And then, you have Su Yung who's going to try to spit that gimmick into her face. What do you call it? The poison mist. And she ends up choking back on it. So I think it all worked well. It was all in line with, it was all in the storyline. But also, now I'm thinking to myself, while all this is going on, right? While all this is going on, I'm saying, so now what do Deonna Purrazzo and what's that chick? The black guy's dream?
Kimberly.
Huh? Yeah. She looks like every 120-pound black guy knows girlfriend. But anyway, neither here nor there. I was wondering, what do they have to do now? What do they have to do now to pay the devil back? Right? Like, did that not creep in your mind? So
yeah, they kind of set it up where he's like, "Oh, it's going to cost you your soul." The week before, and then this week touched on it, but not really. So, what are they going to do with Deonna? This is a tough thing when you have a champion who's like a pedigree champion, you know what I mean? Who's about straight wrestling, even though they're trying to make her into Jackie O. Right. And then you cross into that mythic world, Now she has to either become mythic or we get in and we get out real quick. I didn't really like the visual of the spooky chicks, zombies coming in, and with them not attacking Deonna and Kimberly and attacking. It just didn't work to me.
They should have swarmed the ring. After Deonna Purrazzo hit a finisher out of nowhere or whatever, I would have had all the zombies like literally swarm the ring like zombies and just like claw at her and beat on her and stuff like that. I agree with you.
And here's the other thing, and you can't. What am I supposed to say? Pops, you lazy fat fucker, get out there and fucking work your ass off some more. So I agree. There's one for me. And Deonna Purrazzo is also a hustler, Rip Rogers girl. Trained with him a couple times, but more with Damian Adams, who trained with him for years, was Jamin's tag partner, is phenomenal trainer of some of the hottest women in wrestling who keep getting signed. That's what he does. He goes and finds good-looking, athletic women and then trains them in Rip Rogers style in the ring for 2 years and takes them around the indies. And that's what he did with Deonna, and that's what he's doing with 2 or 3 others right now too.
Did you notice that Deonna changed her gear a little bit?
Well, that's what I was going to say. That nude gear, it looks awesome. She spent a lot of money on it. And I saw when she said that shit, Deonna got hot because some of it got on her stuff. But the other thing is too, dude, I'll tell you another story about that got me hot. But Deonna and Kimberly are both on TV now. And I think they're too comfortable because can't say nothing about a woman's weight, but whatever. I'm a director, and I'm here to tell you, you go back and look at how you looked when you debuted versus now. And if you can't see the work you need to put in, because that same gear looks phenomenal. Now you want to wear half nude gear, it's going to show every little imperfection if you put on 5 pounds. So you've been married to that. Not that she's not sexy or hot or that we don't even like girls with the cakes or whatever. Of course we do.
Oh, yes.
But at the same time, it looks like you're comfortable and lazy when you start putting on weight when you're on TV.
And what's her name? Give me Joanna. She has to wear tights around her arms to to hide. Like listen. You got
Frank. I like Deonna a lot, bro. Like
no, not Deonna.
Like Frank in there. Yeah, I think Deonna can fucking go because I know she knows what she got the right information to be trained. She's young, needs promo help. But also at the same time, if it was Rip and she's in Rip's class and you're looking like shit today, you better fucking get your fat ass on a goddamn fucking bike for about 15 miles.
Yeah.
Like the last thing you want to hear after you just suck down fucking Taco Bell at fucking 2 a.m. Like.
Well, this is the thing.
Hey, Taco Bell closes at 1.
Not around here, 4th meal.
Well, it depends on where you live. New York is open late. But anyway.
COVID, I don't eat that shit anyway.
Yeah, neither do I.
Mexican pizza, so neither do I. Go ahead, Big Ray. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that I was talking to Dr. Ted about this. I don't know why we talked about this on the NXT review, but we were talking about Deonna Purrazzo. And I had said, hey, no heat. I tried to explain to people that, I'm not heating on her, but I thought that she, as a champion, she's the champion of your company. She's the face of that woman's knockouts division. She looked like, she had her belly hanging over the tights. I was happy to see that she changed the gear. It's high-waisted gear, but does that hide the fact that she's maybe not putting in the work? Her tag team partner, what's her name? The young lady, her tag team partner.
Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Like her personal assistant.
I just made a joke. And for people from the hood know what I'm talking about. I grew up with a lot of, like, my best friend JJ. That's his real name.
Kimberly, like that. What you're talking about is some big old slot bucket Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No.
White women with 100-pound black eye. We've all seen the fucking videos. We know. We know. We've been to Walmart. Everybody's seen it.
It's just, I'm looking at Kimberly in the ring, right?
She's hot, bro.
Hold on. But she isn't in the shape she was in when she first came in either.
Nope.
So I'm
saying, like, they're just kicking it in October and November and being like, you know what, girl, it's our time. Like, cheat day. Well, you're going to do that. You got to fucking get on that Stevie Richards fitness twice as hard because you're on you've been working your ass off to be on TV. And now you're comfortable already. You can't be comfortable. What needs to be happening is you're on TV looking good, and then you look better and better every week. I got to say, you know who did that? Ethan Page. Kevin Matthews did that. Remember Kevin Matthews, a big blue chipper, and dude, he's like, I look like shit. I want to look better. And now he's fucking shredded wheat, bro. Mm-hmm. So there's guys and girls who do a real assessment of what they look like and know the opportunity they got. There's other ones who are young, get it, and then they're just comfortable with having it, and they don't know how precious that fucking spot is, bro.
Yeah. I agree. Well, people are going to get butthurt too.
And not to defend, and I don't want to defend anybody because both make 100% valid points. Whether or not TNA or Impact, is taping well in advance is not an excuse. You need to keep yourself into shape, right? Because you always want to be ready. But I will say, the plan I thought it looked like was for, what's her name now? Kylie Ray to win the championship, right? That's what it looks like. They
so
hot shot it.
Third business. This is C-level business that we're doing here now too, right? Go ahead.
Right. So they hot shotted it over to Sue to take it off, and then they moved it back to Deonna. So, in Deonna's mind, there might have been, maybe she wasn't even going to be on TV, right? They were taking the title off. I'm not excusing her. I'm just saying I'm trying to get into her mindset. Maybe she was, I'm going to be off TV. I can be lazy for a little bit. And then obviously Kylie Ray
could have been fucking with her with that too. Maybe they wanted her to sign a contract, or she didn't want to sign a contract or whatever. Okay, we're going to take the title off you quick just to fucking sweat her. This is the things that go on behind the wrestling world. The fuck with
listen to the snake game, right?
Yeah.
And people,
the thing that the crowd or the pundits think are bad decisions are really decisions that are like, fuck the crowd. We got to make this wrestler do what we want to do. So forget the creative for a minute. The creative will reinforce their own fear of, they took the belt off or they could cut her tomorrow. I'll do whatever the fuck they want me to do. And then you're back into their, like, they play that game constantly, bro.
And let me just really clarify, and I'll look in the camera when I say this. Deonna Purrazzo is gorgeous. Very much my type. I know very much Ben's type. Matt, I don't know if that's your type, but
Patrick's wife is my type.
Okay, that works. That works too. But she is gorgeous. I'm just saying, you have to understand, we're talking about a TV product. You're not going to have.
He's a director, not any fucking fan base. Like, she looks like fuck that, dude. She's smoking hot.
When you were growing up and watching Baywatch, none of those girls were running on the beach and you saw no jiggle except for what was up top, the gimmicks.
They paid for it.
Well, It is what it is.
Go ahead. Let's go. We're already hour 48 in.
Yep. Next up, we had a great interaction between Moose and Chris Bay. As Moose walks in and informs Chris Bay that before his match that Chris Bay initially believes that Moose is there to try and step up or get in line. Hey, if you beat Rich Swann, I will be the next one in line, kind of thing. But Moose informs him, very great promo here. He says that real power isn't given, it's taken. And then he says that if Bay does win against Rich Swann for the world championship, he'll be gunning for him next. And I thought this was a nice little breadcrumb because it looked like not only, it was a great promo from Moose, but it resonates with Rich Swann so much that he takes the power right at the end of the night. That's kind of like what his character takes away from this interaction with Moose. So I liked it. Did you guys want to comment on it, or do you want to move on?
Moose could use a little bit acting coaching, a little bit out of slow play. He's trying. He's improved incredibly too in the amount of time that he's been in the business. No doubt about it. In the last 5 years. But now we need to do some fine polish work on some of the scene work. He looks great. Oh, like $1 million. Let's just tighten it up. But this was fine to add some stakes. Big
Ray.
I'm sorry, my brother's texting me. We're talking about Moose, right?
Yeah.
Yep. The interaction with Bay.
No, it was okay. Moose has gone to a level that forget about it. Like I love everything Moose does. The only thing I was wondering why Chris Bay didn't have the red cup that they walk around with.
Oh man.
What?
Nothing.
All right, go ahead. Anyway, continue.
Moving on, Carl Anderson then interrupted Gaia Miller in the middle of her interview. He wanted to answer Ethan Page's challenge, as Ethan Page had laid down the challenge prior in his interview, saying if I beat you at Turning Point or whatever the next pay-per-view is, Final Resolution, I'm sorry, Turning Point just happened. Final Resolution. If I beat you at Final Resolution, then we get another opportunity against you guys for the championship. And that was Carl Anderson accepting it. So let's move on to the match of the night, in my opinion. X Division champion Rohit Raju taking on Crazy Steve. As Crazy Steve previously had gotten this championship opportunity after hiding under the mask of suicide. However, ultimately in this match, Rohit Raju picks up the victory as he uses, you might say, of course, some heel tactics, as you put over on the watch-along bin. As Steve was looking to put him away with the crucifix, Rohit dropped down on him and grabbed him for the win and retained the championship. What did you think of this match, Big Ray? I mean, what did you think of defeat Rohit here in his challenge? Which, again, you can check out the latest episode of Mando Mania, episode 12, HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com, and you can hear the official fourth member of the new FO, Rohit Raju. What do you think, Big Ray?
What? I mean, dude, work smarter, not harder. I don't understand why people are getting upset that Rohit Raju is winning all these matches. You know, some people are saying that he's using nefarious whatever.
Upset?
I don't know. People are. Hey, listen, I watch stuff on Twitch. Okay, they're all angry. They're all haters. You know what I'm saying? This is yeah, exactly. This is possibly the greatest X Division champion in the history of the company. He may hold that title till 2025. Who knows? All I will say is this. All right, if you are angry that Rohit Raju keeps winning his matches the way he's winning his matches, then maybe you should think about changing things in your life. Okay? Maybe you're not getting the promotion because you don't want to try, try a little harder or do things differently. Maybe your girl keeps leaving you because you're not good enough in bed or whatever it is, whatever it may be. Rohit Raju has found what he needed to find to go to that level, and he's at that level, and it is what it is. Just deal with it. Deal with it. Don't get mad. I got to put over Crazy Steve, though.
Oh,
Crazy Steve. This was my favorite match of the week. This was, for me, my favorite match of the week. And guess how many wrestling shows I watched? One. But neither here nor there. It was a great match. I really enjoyed this match. This was it was well done. Like I still can't wrap my head around the fact that why WWE didn't bring Crazy Steve in and really put over the fact that he is a quote unquote legally blind wrestler. The guy works safe. He works well. He has character. The guy has a crazy look, the fucking monkey. Why are they not selling that thing on impactzone.com, whatever, wrestling zone, whatever? Why are they not selling those monkeys? I'd pay $50 for a monkey like that and walk around with it in my neck in New York City. Nobody would mess with me. Nobody would sit next to me on the train. I wouldn't have to worry about coronavirus. This was great. Stop hating on Rohit Raju. And Rohit Raju, if you're listening, Star Trek over strong, right? How we do this? What? No?
Not strong.
Not.
This was match of the week. I watch every show except for NXT because thankfully the other guys can fill in. And this was great back and forth. Crazy Steve is an incredible worker for being legally blind and or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you had 20/20 vision, the dude is awesome, an awesome worker. He's there for everything. It all looks real snug, tight, and on the cell, he's great too. I don't care about the monkey stuff that much, to be honest with you. Like,
What?
Yeah, I'm not down with it.
You don't want the monkey.
I think the money would have been him going to WWE and doing something with Abyss, or having him be a part of Firefly Funhouse. Like
Sure.
That guy could be awesome there. But here, him and Rohit Raju give incredible wrestling and not a bunch of no-sell shit. And we get a heel finish where he's got him in the bulldog pin and then fucking grabs the ropes, heels up to retain. A good get-over match to keep Rohit heel. And then afterwards, we get a promo that pops the shit out of me with Brian Myers going through, and he goes, I know they hired blind wrestlers, but they hired blind referees here too? Like, to bury the ref for not seeing the spot. Fucking phenomenal. That type of shit is everything to me. That's how I write, and I love lines like that. And the way Crazy Steve delivers it, to put it over afterwards, only enhances the whole feeling of it all as a viewer, as a watcher, to heighten the laugh when you think the scene's over, to come back and get one more dink and walk away. That stuff's great, man. So hats off to both those guys. They did a good job, dude.
All right, well, let's move on here. So, just a couple reminders there, just because you mentioned a couple things. Big Ray, brand new episode of Star Trek, Triple D, and John Enright's podcast is up from last week where they interviewed Lance Archer. A shout out to AEW as well for providing that interview. John did a really good job putting over some of the AEW stuff. So I was asking, I was like, did they ask you to put over all the plugs? And he was like, no. I was like, good job. He set up really good plugs for
Good job.
to put over AEW and stuff like that. So
Good job. I had lunch with Triple D. We went out for sushi, and it's a good time. Catch up with him, and definitely. No, I mean, the guy's a very highly successful businessman, and he's such a supporter of everything we've ever done. So he knows what's up. But I just reiterated a couple things to help direct him, and they hit a home run. They nailed it. So good job, you guys, over at the Academy Star Trek podcast.
And also, by the way, I think the only person that would legitimately have a shot to defeat Rohit would be the Greek god Papadon. So tweet that out. Let's make that happen.
Let's do that.
Which is Rohit Rashid.
I would, man.
That'd be a fucking killer match, bro.
I would pay to see that, and I will tell you this right now. I would root for my boy Rohit 10 out of 10 times. I want to see Greek God take the pin.
So after that, I have to show some bias here. Backstage, Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz are fired up for their semi-final match. Most importantly, they're stoked to spend Fallah Bah's money. Bah comes in and confronts the ladies. If they have their money, they lie, tell them they don't have it. Steelz is, of course, holding it behind her back. Johnny Swinger comes in and tries to hit on the ladies. He goes, you're going to get a 2-for-1 deal. They're not impressed with his pickup lines, and as well as Fallah Bah says he will interact with him next week to see about getting his money back. I'm kind of disappointed, Ben, that they have transitioned this money thing to the chicks versus the Hernandez thing and who shot Bravo. I mean, unless they're still planning to bring that back around.
Well, I mean, they said in the one scene that they were set up, the money continues. So the story on the main way and the sub storyline is still going on. So maybe we will weave back through. I don't know what Police Dreamer is going to do next. We'll see. But there are little hints. But, man, I hate to bag on them. But we just left a lot of creative in the bag and walked away from it that we could have really gotten a whole nother 10 weeks of TV out of before we even needed to get to some of these points that we're at now. That's tough for me.
Agree.
Okay. Well, after that, then go to, as you mentioned, the Crazy Steve promo with Brian Myers and TJP, where Brian Myers came and insulted them for thinking they were out. Obvious that they had a chance. I'm sorry, Crazy Steve had a chance to actually win the X Division Championship, and Crazy Steve had that great line about the refs. Then we went to the main event. Chris Bay taking on Willie Mack.
Do you guys know about the hashtag show?
What?
Hashtag?
A podcast or no?
What
This
is
is
that?
off-air business. I don't know. Somebody's asking me who's a name performer, and they got invited. I didn't know if you guys knew about it or not.
The hashtag show.
Yeah, well, obviously you don't know, so it's not worth like.
I could really go for some corned beef and hash right now, though.
Yeah, you go for a corned beef sandwich for lunch.
The only hashtags I know about right now are hashtag RTW Rewind. Check out the latest episode of Ben Hamin last Sunday on hackhamin.podbean.com. So we go to this match here. The winner of this match was Willie Mack, which was interesting because Willie Mack picked up the victory. But post-match, Moose ran in, connected the lights out on Willie Mack, Impact World Champion. Then Rich Swann ran in, sent Moose out of the ring, and then Bay squashed Swann with his art of finesse. He held up the championship, and then Moose looked on behind him. So the reason why I say this is interesting is Bay loses to Mack, but then it gets announced 30 minutes later on Impact Wrestling's Twitter that he's getting an opportunity to take on Rich Swann now for the championship. A little weird that he gets an opportunity after losing to Willie Mack. Big Ray, makes sense of this for me.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. I'm like, wait a second. Why is this dude still getting a title shot? And
I love Chris Bay, so I'm just saying.
Dude, I love Chris Bay. I love him and his tag team partner with the big red cup gimmicks, and they do all this. What's wrong, Ben? Anyway.
Well, you never thought it would be a Latino that'd be so racist, but
what racist? What are you talking about?
Points to you, dude. I think everything's fucking hilarious. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Japanese.
Don't you ever do that again on this show. That is just absolutely unacceptable.
If any of you refute that, I dare you to come out here and do something about it.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Hold on. I was going to say before, just to preference this, Mr. Chris Bay, I have had the opportunity, privilege to call some of your matches for Without a Cause. So the following comments from Big Ray Hernandez are not endorsed by Matthew Schaefer.
Colin Wyson,
Sorry,
dude, kayfabe. Unbelievable. Anywho, fantastic match, by the way. Fantastic match by both gentlemen. I love Flippity Doodah Junkyard Dog. I think this dude is freaking awesome, dude. Seriously, everything from his music, all jokes aside, from his music to Willie Mack's music is perfect. It reminds me, what was it? Remember the Harlem Shake dance that got popular? I think that's kind of where they got that from. But everything with the pick in his hair dude, I fucking love Willie Mack. And I was like, all right, Willie Mack won. Yes, he's going to get a championship shot. And then they have the other kid. Why? I don't get it. Ben, explain to me. Well, why did Willie Mack win this match? What was the purpose of this match here?
Willie Mack's gone under a lot, so he needed to get over and to get back in the picture. And Bay has been like trying to finesse his way into the picture. So this was like the hardworking, like downtrodden dude needs the get over win. But the cool guy didn't have the big enough shock reaction to kind of sell that at the end. And he didn't have enough heat on him to really make it like a fuck yeah, that guy lost and this dude won. But that being said, Willie Mack is also another incredibly improved performer in the last 6 months. We would make offhand jokes that I don't know if he had some learning disability or someone that couldn't let his charisma come through. It seemed like he got a job and he was sad about it. Like there was just something not connecting. These last 2 months, his selling has been amazing. His fucking charisma and bumps are some of the best in wrestling as well. This match was right up there. I got to go Rohit Raju's match against Crazy Steve is number 1, and this is number 2 in the best in the whole wrestling spectrum in the last week. these two matches on this show. So regardless of what it was as a wrestling match and being interested, these two guys who are, let's be honest, they're just West Coast independent talent whose name is known from PWG, and they got over. They shined here in the main event. This is not a main event I thought I would book. I would actually have booked Rohit in the main, what I going into this, but it worked, and both of these matches got over. So I tip my hat to all of these guys, man.
Yeah, I would say that in this match, Willie Mack, in fact, got the smoke, right?
Yeah, he did get it.
Yeah, he got the smoke.
All right, well, guys, that's it. That's going to do it for another edition here of your Impact Attack, your Impact Wrestling review from December the 1st, 2020. I'm your host on the scene where the air is clean and I'm lighting up green. Your boy MSG. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew_Schaffer. Of course, brand new episode of Suck My Balls is available right now. South Park review, episode number 15, the season 4, episode 1 review, the Tooth Fairy's Tats 2000. That is up right now. Brand new episode of the New Force Order coming at you tomorrow. Just got to edit that up today. As well as you got RTW Rewind. He actually just told me he recorded with John Paz from the 2-Man Power Trip. So that should be coming out here in the next week or so. And then I think he's got somebody from Australia coming on this week. So that'll be good for Australian listeners if you're into that. And of course, this might be, as you stooged it off, I'm going to be managing Stevie Ray's Patreon. So we welcome back Big Ray Hernandez full-time to the Impact Attack. I will be taking a step back to focus on getting everything ready. Of course, the door is always open for me, of course, to return here on the Impact Attack, but I will be back tomorrow. Oh, great. I'll be gone tomorrow. I'll be back, though, tomorrow on Light the Fuse, so I'm not leaving Light the Fuse, but I do like AEW. So check that out, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Conspiracy Horseman tonight. Big Ray Hernandez, what do you got for us before you go today? Are you still doing any of the ministry stuff? I hadn't seen any of your podcasts on the ministry.
Yeah, I've been doing that on the side. Like, I've been putting a bunch in the bank so I can put them all out, like, in a week, because I was there was a lot of personal stuff with my family, my brother, and stuff like that, and stuff I had to take care of over the last couple of weeks. And then anyway, I'll be doing some more stuff on Your Life, My Life. I'm changing the structure of that show, so bear with me. It's going to be different than what you've heard before. But I also changed my my Twitter handle. I was able to find out that Big Ray at Big Ray Hernandez was available.
Nice.
So that is my Twitter handle. And also on Instagram, I couldn't believe that at Big Ray Hernandez was also available. So I tied both those things in. But listen, I really Ken.
Copyright free, otherwise
Oh, it's copyright free. It's generic. Ken Shamrock, I'm sorry. I respect you. Colin Weissong made me do it. He hates people that are tough. I love you, Ken Shamrock. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
He's lying. Anyway, go ahead, Ben.
Seriously?
Yeah, man. It's a big week here. It's a big week. I want to say thanks to everybody for all the ProWrestlingTees.com/Ben Hamin Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales, all the Broasters coffee sales as well. Great stocking stuffers, you guys, as well as ZordoSoliveOil.com, as we are pushing everything forward. Like MSG said, on Patreon with the Rip Rogers podcast, with his brand, with Stevie Ray's brand. And we're going to actually radicalize you, our diehards here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman or Hamin Media Group, or Russo's brand for the free month, because we want to help promote everything. And it's about time we use our power as a community to start making awareness on marketing decisions and promoting some of the things that we want to see take hold in the world. So we got some great plans ahead. So be ready when the word comes down from the underground. You guys will be ready to be weaponized once again. Go ahead, man.
Oh, just one more thing I also want to put over. I did notice yesterday, War on Morons happens to be the 100th episode on the brand new Hamin Media Group Podbean feed. So not only did they win the 6-star search, but they were the 100th episode. So go check out a brand new episode of War on Morons on Hamin Media Group. Big, you look like you're upset. You have something else?
No, do you want to see my phone? This is my new phone background. You like that?
That looks good. I'm sure. I'm sure when he stomps it on the ground, he'll be fucking laughing about it. But y'all, Big Ray is back. The Mega Powers reunited. It's the Impact Attack as we send MSG onto greener pastures, infidels. But we'll be back tonight, 7:15 p.m. Check us out at Russo's brand, Conspiracy Horseman. It's all going down here. HackerHamin.podbean.com. Yeah.
I don't want to die.
The cry farther away from the